Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, I had to restart the stream. I think I'm the right way now. Hi, Marlene. Thanks for coming back. Um, this is Jessica. I'm on the design team, and this is my first solo live. I did do a live with Candy a few weeks ago and had a lot of technical issues, so hopefully this goes a lot more smoothly. Um, but I'm excited to get started. Marlene, I think you're the only one in here with me. Hopefully we have a couple other people trickle in. But today I'm using this stencil that came out with a Good Vibrations release. And this is the Funky Fun stencil. And I wanted to do something fun with some ink and glitter glaze. So to start with, I'm going to just tape my stencil to a sheet of paper. This isn't quite a 6x6 piece, but that's okay. We want a little bit of paper sticking out there at the top. Hi, Mandy. Thanks for coming. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments, everybody, but please forgive me if I miss yours. But for those who are just joining us, I'm Jessica. I'm on the design team, and this is my first solo live. So I'm going to try to keep up with the comments and get some fun stuff going. You can check me out on social media at Purple Puppy Paper Crafting because I love purple and I love dogs and cats and all animals. But I really, really love purple. So we're making a little hinge on our paper like this. And we're going to do like a faux letterpress technique. And I saw this from Jennifer McGuire. So I'm going to use a couple colors today. We're going to use a yellow and a green. And I'm flipping my hinge open and I'm going to just go direct to paper on this, or direct to stencil with the ink pad. Starting with the yellow, and then I'm going to do some of the green. For those that are here, have you seen or do you have any of the products from the new Good Vibrations release? It's all groovy and fun stuff with the submarine and the lava lamps. Okay, so after we put the ink on, we're going to close our stencil hinge back onto our paper. And we do need a die cut machine for this. And we're just going to use the, oh, Mandy, thank you. We're going to use the sandwich, whatever your machine recommends for embossing with a stencil. I have the Gemini, so I have a cutting plate, the purple rubber mat, and then it goes matte, paper, and then stencil on top. So I have that, and then the rest of my sandwich, which I'm using the metal shim, the magnetic shim, and the top cutting plate. You might hear, sorry if it's loud, but I'm going to put this whole sandwich through my Gemini. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, thank you. Hi, Karen. Okay, so take this out of our sandwich here. And when you open up the hinge here, you can see that we now have ink where the stencil was. So normally when you ink over a stencil, you will get the ink on the open areas. But when you do it this way, you actually get the ink on the areas where the stencil is. And it's a little bit pressed into the paper. I don't know if you can see that, but I really like this effect that it gives. Now, I always like to add glitter to everything. So we are going to use some glitter glaze. And I have the color Sunshine Yellow. It's a really pretty sparkly light yellow. Hi, Terrific Cards. Hi, Aunt Linda. Hi, Heather. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Let's see. I'm going to get out my tools for the glitter glaze. And I like to use the big stencil pal. And I'm just going to start with a big, beautiful glob of glitter glaze at the top. And kind of smooth it around. But then we get the stencil pal, and just kind of pull it down gently. And depending on how much pressure you put on it, you can put a thin layer of glaze, or you can do a thicker layer. But I often have some left over on the stencil pal, so look how much is still there. Just grab that up and put it back in your jar, because this stuff is amazing and you don't want to waste any. I always get a baby wipe and just wipe the top edge so it doesn't dry and get stuck, and then close it up nice and tightly. I just wipe off my tools, and usually I go right to the sink and put my stencil in the sink so the glitter glaze doesn't dry on your stencil. Hi, Candy. Thanks for coming. Hi, Aunt Barbara. Okay, so we now have our glitter glaze there, and we need to gently lift up. And this is what we have. So we now have the ink in the areas where the stencil was, and the glitter glaze in the open areas of the stencil. So we can just put this aside to dry, not drive. And I'll put this aside. Just wipe a little bit of this off of here. Through the magic of YouTube, I have one done and dry. So it gives a nice, amazing glitter, and it's that fun texture from embossing with the stencil. No, Candy, no purple today. Are you surprised? I don't know what was going through my mind when I figured this project out and didn't use purple. Guess I decided I needed to branch off a little bit. So this is going to be the background for our card. So I wanted to do something that lets the background shine. So I don't want to put too much on top of here, because I don't want to cover up the beautiful background we just made. So I planned on using this big, let me find my die here. I wanted to use the You Are My Sunshine die, because that's one of my favorite ones. The big word here, the You Are My Sunshine, and we have the shadow layer. So I'm putting our background aside because we don't need that quite yet. And I'm going to take out, I have used the vellum, the Brutus Monroe vellum. And thank you, Heather. I cut out this shadow layer in vellum. So this die is the shadow layer. And I did that ahead of time. So I have that cut out of vellum. And I did that because I'm going to put that onto our background, and I wanted the words to be able to shine. So the vellum kind of helps soften that background where the words are going to go. The next thing we need to do is cut out the words themselves. So the You Are My Sunshine. And I want it to match my background, but I didn't have a piece of cardstock that was that same color green. So I'm just taking a piece of the Perfect Blends cardstock. And hi, Tina, thank you. I'm going to do a direct to paper with the green ink pad. and make some green cardstock to match my project. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even, because as it dries it will smooth out a little bit, but also it's going to be our letters cut out of this. So I think a little bit of variation will actually look pretty cool. So I think that looks good. And we'll take the letter dies and put them on here. And I'm going to send this through my die cutting machine. So I hope everybody's having a good weekend. What are you all doing? Is anybody crafting along? Are you just hanging out? Anything exciting going on? Okay. So I think I lost a couple letters. Yep. There's my S and my R. The next thing we need to do is cut out our background panel. And I want this to be the full front of an A2 size card. And I think I have, yeah, I have a stitched rectangle die that I'm going to use. I think I'll put it at a slight angle maybe. And see, these are my very well loved Gemini plates. Oh, a birthday card, Marlene, that's fun. Looks like everybody's relaxing, enjoying the weekend, working on some cards. Okay, this is our cutout background panel. And let me find a card base here that we'll put that on. It'll be easier to see it. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't get a panel that was the size of an A2 card, but that's okay. We'll just have a little matte layer behind it on the card. So we'll try to get this centered. That's a really cool background. I love that. We're going to have our You Are My Sunshine there, but I want to put the letters on the vellum first, because then we're going to be able to put glue behind the letters and hide that so you don't see it on the front of the vellum. Just going to use some glue here and just put some glue on here. This is probably the longest part of doing this card, is just getting the letters on here, but it's so easy. The shadow layer makes it really easy to see where the letters go. Yeah, Aunt Linda, it's definitely not my normal color combination, but I like it. I thought it was a groovy color combination. I probably should have done this ahead of time because this is probably pretty boring to watch. So what are some of your favorite products from this release, everybody? The good vibrations. I do have a couple flowers already colored and cut out that I'm going to put on this card too from the Hooked on You stamp set, which is this stamp set. I think that one's really fun. I love the lava lamp. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the stamp set. But I also like all the little stamps in it with the hearts and the flowers. I think it's really cute. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for joining. Yes, Aunt Linda, I know you like watching other people work. So everybody, my Aunt Linda is who got me into crafting, well, the paper crafting world about 25 years ago, I think, Aunt Linda. So I always blame her for my obsession. But we have a lot of fun with it. We usually try to do all the virtual events together. Oh yeah, Heather, I didn't even notice that. The waves do have little music notes inside. How cute is that? So I realized right before I went live that I didn't even put on the Facebook page that I was going live. So I'm happy that we have people watching because I thought maybe I'd be here alone or just with my family that I told I was doing a live. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, I think I have a cat hair there. Cat hairs everywhere, cat and dog hair. I hear a little doggy walking around me. Hi, Ruby. Ruby says hi to everybody. She's a cute little beagle. They all love to hang out in here with me. Yes, Aunt Linda did a very good job enabling. I'm pretty easy to enable into things, though. Heather, when we came that first time in person, I remember first time we met you, and we walked into the Brutus Monroe store, and we were just amazed at how much amazing stuff was in there. I called it the Disney World of Crafting because it was so much fun, and we just had a great time looking around. And there were a couple inspiration boxes that were left, and it had an ice cream set in it. I remember that. And I bought that, and that's what got me started with my obsession with Brutus Monroe. I signed up for all the subscriptions, went back to the store a couple times, shopped online. I haven't been back to the store for a while. I need to come visit. Okay, we have our... No, Ruby's not sleeping. She's just walking around looking at me, wondering why I'm not paying attention to her. Okay, so now we have the You Are My Sunshine on vellum, and we have our background here. I think I want to pop our words up. So I'm going to get some little pop dots. Might be a little difficult to put them on these letters. Let me find my smaller ones. I'm actually going to cut some in half, which will make it easier too. And I'm just putting the foam adhesive behind the letters so it hides it and you don't see it through the vellum. We will have to try to make it sometime, Heather. Okay. And I like to use my little pick tools to help pick up these small pieces of adhesive because I would never be able to pick them up and put them down with just my fingers. I wouldn't be able to see where I was going. But I love foam adhesive. I use it on most, if not all, of my cards. Gotta pop something up, right? Takes a little extra time, but I think it's worth it. Okay, now we have to take all the liners off. I think this is one of my favorite stencils because it's just so much fun and it's all swirly and you can use it for all kinds of things. And of course, glitter glaze just makes everything better. You have to have glitter for everything. Hi, Mama. Okay, I'm going to put this at an angle. I'm not going to really press it down yet because I have a few little flowers that I have already cut out and colored from the Hooked on You set that I think might go. Uh-oh, I think I lost one. We might only have two. How much time do you guys spend looking for stuff on your craft desk that you know is just there? Because I feel like probably about half of my time is spent looking for stuff that I know is right there and then it's not there when I need it. Thank you, Shannon. I think I just want to see where I can tuck in a couple of these cute little flowers. Or maybe just one. I am going to put this here. So I'm going to press this down. I think I like that. Live blindness. Yes, I can see that. It's probably right here somewhere. right in front of my face. But that's okay. I think 2 looks good. So there's our card for today. We have the Funky Fun stencil that we did the faux letterpress with and the Sunshine Yellow glitter glaze. We did our You Are My Sunshine with the green letters and the vellum shadow. Couple little flowers from the Hooked on You stamp set. And I think it's a really fun little card with lots of glitter, which is always the best. I guess I thought this live would take longer, but I think that's all I have for tonight. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Thank you. I had a lot of fun tonight. I was really nervous for my first live solo, especially since I had a lot of technical difficulties when I tried it with Candy a few weeks ago. Um, but I really had a fun. I hope to do more lives and plan better next time so maybe we have a longer project. But I think this one is a lot of fun. And I'm going to be writing up a blog post for this that I think will go up on the blog next week. So I hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Eileen. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Karen. So yeah, stay tuned. I hope to be back with more lives and check out our blog next week. I'm going to have this up on the Brutus Monroe blog. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye.